We understand that the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Temple Mount, it has a potential to ignite things, not only between Israel and the Palestinians or Israel and Hamas. It's not as if the United States has any leverage on Hamas, but to ignite things between Israel and its allies in the region. And we saw that earlier in the week, Israel and Jordan, even Israel and the United Arab Emirates, even the UAE summoned the Israeli ambassador to the foreign ministry there due to the events at the Temple Mount. And the American delegates want to try and calm things down between its own allies in the region, between Israel and Jordan, mainly Jordan being the custodian of the Temple Mount, the Muslim holy places in Jerusalem, and therefore a lot of tension when it comes to the Temple Mount. That is why the American delegation is here. They will meet. They'll hold meetings here in Israel and also in the other American allies in the region, be Jordan, the UAE, trying to calm things down. That said, and as mentioned, the United States has no real leverage on Hamas. That would have to come on the part of Egypt, maybe on the part of Turkey, Qatar, other forces in the region that have more leverage on Hamas. That's something that the United States by itself may have some difficulties to do.
Now, on the security front here, so in focus in recent weeks, what's the latest in terms of Israel Defense Force activity in the West Bank? We've seen intensive activity almost daily.
And overnight as well. Again, 5 arrests were made in the West Bank. Let's remember, we're constantly speaking about the current tensions in Jerusalem. This whole thing started with those 4 terror attacks in Israel, claiming the lives of 14 Israelis. And all this massive operation taking place in the West Bank is for Israel to place its hands on those terror suspects within the West Bank before they even have the ability to cross into Israel through the many holes in the security barrier. That is ongoing all the time.
And now we touch on some of the neighbors, some of the parties that, like you mentioned, the U.S. may not have any leverage on Hamas here, but reportedly and apparently Egypt still does. There's reports that Egypt has sort of kept a lid on Hamas this week, especially when there was an IDF strike in the Gaza Strip. What do we know about the activity around Gaza?
The IDF strike in Gaza, interesting thing. It happened just about a bit over 24 hours ago in response to that rocket fire to Israel. An interesting thing, some people, actually many people in the Israeli security establishment were perhaps hoping that there would be some limited rocket fire from Gaza. Why so? There are many sites within Gaza that Israel wants to take care of, but Israel, of course, cannot bomb sites in Gaza unless it had some pretext, that pretext being rockets being sent from Gaza. What do we know about this latest site in Gaza that was struck? Hamas said all Israel hit was an empty site. That may be the case, but that empty site, according to some sources, no confirmation from any side, was a secret bunker or a secret post maintained by Hamas for emergency times. The emergency times are not here yet, and let's hope they do not arrive. And therefore, that site was empty. Yes, Israel has no interest in killing people. Israel has an interest of taking care of those problematic sites, and that's a specific site hit in the night between Tuesday and Wednesday was apparently one of them. This is according to a report coming in the last few moments. No confirmation from any side, not from Jerusalem, not from Gaza.
And in short, though, Hamas say their fingers on the trigger. Still, we could be expecting more rocket fire, especially given any events today.
Absolutely, and we just heard of this flag parade that might take place in Jerusalem today. Hamas is always constantly trying to make sort of a link between events in Jerusalem and its response from Gaza, trying to place itself as the guardian of the holy places in Jerusalem for the Palestinians. Any event in Jerusalem may have repercussions in Gaza. So far, it did not really happen, apart from that one rocket that we saw on Tuesday evening. But whatever happens from now on is anyone's guess, and any small event in Jerusalem can ignite the whole area, especially the Gaza border.
Defense Correspondent Jonathan Regev, thanks for being with us on the latest. Again, tensions so high and being a top story for us as it is.